Yes then guys, so welcome back to Rapture Recordings YouTube channel. Last week we covered the basics of music production and how to become a music producer. We went over subjects such as what DAW to pick, monitors, MIDI keyboards, samples and so on. Obviously I wanted to continue things on in the basis of that video and kick things off with a basic walk around of a DAW, obviously this one being Fruity Loops. Obviously I use Fruity Loops as my DAW of choice, as we said in the last video. The channel's mainly going to be based around Fruity Loops, so yeah, I thought it makes sense to kick things off straight away with a walk around about how Fruity Loops works, where everything is, and how you can get yourself started making a simple beat in Fruity Loops. So yeah, let's kick things off. Yes then, so this is what you're greeted with when you first boot up Fruity Loops. Obviously mine may look a bit different, the top bar is a bit simplified. I change it in the menu, you can just literally right click on it, and I'm running a template as well, so it might look a bit different to everyone else's. You might have the kick and stuff on that bit there, but yeah, so the top bar up here, this is like the main navigation menu. Obviously you've got all your menus at the side here, and then obviously to the side of that is your play, stop and pattern and song button, plus your record button. Then you've got where you pick your tempo next to that. Then you've got your time of your track, the monitor, and then your pattern select. And then next to that we've got basically the main buttons that navigate around Fruity Loops. So obviously this first one being onto the playlist, or like the sequencer, whatever you want to call it. So this is where you build the structure of the track with like all the samples and all your patterns and stuff. Then we'll go to the piano roll. This is where you can draw the patterns. You literally just draw them in and create the melodies and the progressions that you want. And then we're going to the channel rack. This is where all your samples and VSTs, automation clips and everything reside on this left hand side here. To the right hand side, that's where you can draw your patterns in or access like the piano roll, whatever you've got set up for that track. This box here is where you route it to the channels on the mixer. Obviously we'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, so this is now the mixer. So obviously whatever number that thing you slide to corresponds to this channel on here. So this is obviously where you mix down the track. This is where everything gets routed to. This is where you process everything. So yeah, obviously that's the main basics of what you need to get started with. So we'll go to the sequencer. So obviously this is where you'll construct your beat. From there we'll go down to this next bit on the left hand side. This is your browser. This is how you get around all like the plugins and samples that you've got. So obviously you can select folders that you want to have in here. So I've got like my music production folder and stuff. You can configure this in the menu via the little drop down arrow in the top left. This is where obviously all the plugins reside. So this is where my plugins will be, plus Fruity Loops ones. This is like the generators and then the effects bit. So going back over here, we'll obviously go onto the channel rack, and this would be where, so from this menu you can drag anything from here, so from samples to plugins, you literally just drag it over and insert it into the channel rack and it will create it as like a track. So let's get a sample quickly, start with a kick maybe. Yeah, so you stick your kick there, and that sort of becomes a sampler. So this is obviously the way you drag it in like this would be in a sampler. You can just drag them straight into the sequencer as well, but let's go get a clap to go with that. Yeah, yeah, I do. Just stick that in there. Again, same as the kick, it just goes underneath it. Let's get a little hi-hat. Just stick that in there like that. And yeah, so if you were to drag this into the sequencer, it would just create like a sample. You wouldn't get the same sort of controls. So yeah, that's them all there. That's kick, clap and hi-hat. So then this bit here, this is how you route them to the channels. So you just slide it to whatever channel you want to route it to. But obviously out of the box nothing's routed. So yeah, if we go to channel rack, look, you'll see nothing's coming through. So if you go back through, go actually onto the sample and play it, it'll just come through the master for the time being. So you want to be able to route that into the mixer. So yeah, go to the channel rack again. Well, it's probably best that we make a pattern first. Let's route these to 1, 2 and 3, and then this bit onto the right hand side of where these names are is where obviously you draw your pattern. So if you click on the right here and insert every 4 steps, it creates like a 4 on 4 kick drum. So that's our kick. So you can build your pattern up like this and stack them all on top of each other. I don't tend to do that. I like to keep it all separate, but this would be how you construct it all into one pattern, and then when you then play it, then it's all together in one pattern. And as you can see there, it's now all routed through into the mixer. So if we go back here, delete all this, and then just create the kick as a single pattern, and then we can go to the sequence and draw this in. Literally just with the paint tool, you can just paint it along as long as you want. So for now, we'll just do a small little loop like that. So that's our kick into the main track now. Now we'll create a new pattern to do the same with the clap. So come here into this pattern selector and press the plus button to the right hand side. I get a lot of hate for this, but we won't name it. I don't do naming things. But yeah, so now that's there, we'll just stick our clap in on the 2nd and 4th beats, and then we'll paint that into the sequencer, like so. And then when we play it, we should get a nice little kick and clap combo. So go back to the channel rack again, and we'll do the same for the hat. New pattern, and this time we'll put it on the offbeat, like so, and then draw that in. Right, now that's done, let's head on over to the mixer, and we'll group these together. So if you hold control and drag across, it selects them, and we'll drop the volume a bit just so you've got a bit more headroom to play with. More headroom the better, really. And we'll just adjust the clap and the hat down a little bit, like so. Nice, nice. Right, let's go back to the sequencer. And now we'll look at putting in a sample. So we head on over back to our little browser over here. And we'll go try find, I think an effects will do. A bit of a white noise riser or downlifter. Yeah, let's go find a downlifter or something. Yeah. Yeah, nice little white noise on. That'll do. Just drag that in. Look, it's as easy as that. So that's now you're sampling there. So obviously that's Vengeance samples. I think pretty much made it at 128 beats per minute. So if you click on this bit, like so, and go to fit to tempo, so you can see it's already trying to make it out of 144, but we don't want that. It's 128, so we'll put 128, and it should snap it to this bit here, just a 32 beat section. So boom, just like that. There you go. So that's how you snap things to tempo. If you know the original tempo, that is. If not, you can do it via beats. So we'll stick that down there like so, and then obviously we want to extend these across, so we can hold control and select them or drag them over with the shift button selected, and that'll copy them. Obviously, because we've got the snap on, it's dragged them over, not in the right grid. So we'll put it to none, which makes it free as anything. We can literally put it wherever you want it in. So we'll drag that into beat, and then we'll put the snap back on beat. So that'll then stop it from putting things in funny places, basically. So yeah, now we've got our sampling, we've got a nice long loop. So what we'll do now is, that's just your samples there in that bit. So what we'll do is we'll select all from that drop down menu, and that'll give you everything. So look, there's our sample there now. So then we've got to route that to another channel like we did earlier with the drums. So obviously that's my group here for synths and things, so we'll stick it on that channel there, like so. And then we'll drop the volume down a little bit, because obviously it'll be quite loud. Obviously it's a riser, so I don't want it loud at all. Right, there you go. So that's a sample in place now. I think it's about time we got a synthesizer in there, or a plug-in, so to speak. So yeah, let's do a bass. Yeah, let's get the channel rack up again. Oh, Yeah, channel rack. So go to your generators. This is obviously my VSTs. Obviously you can use whatever you've got. You can use the built-in Fruity Loops ones, but we'll go with Serum. I highly recommend Serum. You can get it on rent to own on Splice. It's like $7.99 a month, and then it's yours once you've paid it off. But yeah, we'll route that to our channel again. Obviously this is a bass, so we're going to our bass section here. Route it to channel 16, like so. And again, we'll drop the volume. It's going to get loud. It's always good to have loads of headroom. So yeah, we'll go to pick a preset. Obviously for demonstration purposes, we'll just pick any old preset. Bass preset, that'll do. Nice. Yeah, right, so then same again as we did earlier. We need to create another pattern for the bass, so we'll be able to put it in our sequencer. So let's go to channel rack, create a new pattern, like so. And then again, you want to right click here. Obviously make sure that this is selected with this green thing here, because if it's on anything else it'll draw it in with whatever that's on. So make sure you've got Serum selected. Obviously if that's selected it'll draw that in, so you don't want that. So yeah, make sure Serum selected like so. Go to piano roll, and obviously because we've got the root note of A with our kick, so if we go back there, look, A, so we want to make sure we draw our bass in A. So we'll go back to the piano roll like so. I'll go back a bit lower. I want it too high. There we go, that'll do. So then you want to draw it on the off beats. So if we go to our little snap tool, stick it on off beat and then draw, it should snap it straight to an off beat note like so. And then just draw 4 of them in to match our kick pattern. Draw that into the sequencer, selecting it from this drop down menu here like so. Voila. And then yeah, when you play it, we've got some kick and bass. Obviously it's just a simple notation at the moment, nothing too crazy. And obviously you can always build upon that as you go across your as you build your project, sorry. So yeah, let's go back here. Right, so obviously we've just put a bass in. Obviously you want to learn how to put some actual synths in. So what we can do now is literally in this section here is right click on Serum, click clone on this drop down menu, and it'll bring up an exact same instance of what we've just had, so the same preset and everything, but we want a lead, so we'll go to a lead bit. I'll just pick any old lead again. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's go with that one. Yeah. Obviously that's got loads of reverb and delay on it, so we'll take that off out of Serum. We just want it nice and dry, so we can add our reverb and delay at a later point further down the signal path, which is probably how you should do it really. So yeah, nice and dry look. So the same again. Obviously that because we cloned it, it's on the same channel as the bass, so we want to put that to 22, obviously up from the sweep that we put in, and then turn it down a bit again. Don't want it too loud, because again it's a synth. Add some reverb. We would add delay, but I'm not going to at this point. I'm just going to add some reverb just to wet it up a little bit. And same again, another new pattern. We'll go to channel rack, make sure it's selected again, go to piano roll. I'm just going to draw a simple melody just to match the bass for now. Yeah, that'll do. Something like that. Yeah. Just a simple one like the bass on the offbeat. We'll make it a bit more complex in a bit. But yeah, that'll do for now, just so you see how it's all building up. Draw it in again, and then there you have it. So then you got your kick, clap, hi-hat, a bass, and a synth now, all playing together. So it's as simple as that. Obviously the same principle applies for any VST, so again, like I said, we'll make it a bit more complex now. We'll add our little scale thing in maybe. That would help us out. So draw all these over here like this. I'll add this little scale in, like we did out there. Like so. Obviously again, you want to mute these notes, you don't want them to be playing, so We'll drag them across again so we've got a bit of a reference, like so. You want to put them on each root note. We'll mute them again, like so. And then we've got a longer pattern now, but you can see what notes we can put the melody to. So we'll move these up a bit, like so. And then for the latter part of the melody, we'll move it down. So we'll copy them, like so. And move them down there. Let's see how that sounds. Obviously where we deleted all them other patterns earlier, we've got to copy this one over to fill up the gap now. There we go. Yeah. We better change that note, it doesn't sound too good. But that's what it's all about, it's just you've got to play around with them. But at a later point, after the monitoring video, we'll definitely cover music theory and I'll explain how to make a better melody. Just move these up a little bit to make it a bit more interesting, give it a bit more movement, and then we'll move that dodgy note down. No, maybe let's go up. Yeah, let's try that one. Oh yeah. That's better. Not too bad. So yeah, there you have it. That's a fairly simple track put together fairly quickly. So let's copy this over now. Let's extend it over and make the track a little bit longer. So what we can do is just select it all like we did earlier. Just hold shift, copy it over. Oh, again, it's done the same thing. So do the snap thing again, put it over like so. And then with this sample we've got down here, look, we can copy this over like so, and then click on this drop down menu in the little corner of the sample, click make unique, and it makes it another sample. It's the same one, it's just a separate version of it, so you can process it differently for a different channel routing. But in this case we'll reverse it like on this menu here, and it'll create like a sort of riser effect. And then obviously this next bit we want to add a bit more variation, so we'll go find like a top loop or something in this pack. Yeah, something like that in here will do. Yeah, that'll do. Drag that in, obviously the same again, we want to do the same as we did with the sample earlier and fit it to tempo. So obviously it's 128, so fit to tempo, type in the BPM again, like we did earlier at 128, like so. Boom, there it is, snap to grid. Obviously we're going to route this as well, but we'll paint the rest in. Like so, line them up, and then yeah, we'll go to here, route it to our next available drum channel, which will be number 4. Drop it down in volume a bit, and let's give it a play. So yeah, there you have it. It's a pretty simple beat, but obviously we want the bass to be a bit more interesting. It doesn't sound right it just being a single note now that the melody's got a bit of movement to it. So what we'll do is we'll do the same as we did with the melody earlier, and we'll delete all the bass like so, and then we can make this pattern bigger now. So what we'll do is we'll get our little scale thing in again, do the same again, just one up and down either side of this one, just so you've got a 3 octaves worth of reference, just so you can see what notes you can use. I always do this. You don't have to be a musical expert to be able to make music. The tools are there for you. So yeah, we'll drag these over, maybe go up with this one to follow the melody that we did earlier. Yeah, I think it was about that one. Yeah, on to C, and then was it G for that one? Yeah. So we can always go back and have a little look. Yeah, let's see, it's G, so we'll go back, C and G, yeah. Right, so we can go and copy these over to fill in the gaps again, so it fills out the track that we've got, and then give it a play. These yeah, much better. Nothing special, just literally a quick demonstration of how quickly you can get things thrown together in Fruity Loops. Obviously I know I use Serum in this. It does have its own, Fruity Loops does have its own stock plugins, but we'll go over that in another video at a later point, so we can go more in detail. Obviously I use parametric EQ, and Fruity's delaying its reverb all the time still. It's literally what I've set up in my bus channel, so we'll cover that in a video at a later date. Obviously we'll go over music notation and music theory at a later date as well. We'll cover that more in detail. But yeah, like I said, just a quick video just to get us started. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and a brief walk around Fruity Loops. Obviously we covered the basis as where everything is, how to get yourself started making a simple beat. Next week I'm going to go over monitoring setups and obviously how to set your monitors up, what speakers you should get, where you're going to put them, and just we're going to go in depth and how to sort your monitoring system out and the acoustics of your room. So make sure you look into that one. That's going to be an interesting one. So yeah, see you all next week. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, drop a comment, let us know what you think. Check out rapturerecordings.uk/store for all our latest merch. And yeah, see you all soon.